Huh. This is a bit awkward.
Oh, mate.
Where do you want to start with this one?
What's next, mate?
I say we sack off this episode, honestly.
Yeah.
We ain't trying to be here. Guys, Manchester United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 3. It's a long day, bro. It's a long day. I have to say, though, this is one of those games, right, where every single goal that went in, I didn't really react, man. Honestly, I'm kind of getting numb at this point. Like, these results don't really impact my mental health, or like they affect my mood in the moment. I think I've just become accustomed to this now at this point, bro. I was seeing a lot of people saying yesterday, right, this is the worst it's been under Ten Hag, or like I can't remember the last time it's been this worse. But then, like, if you go down the results that we've suffered in the last 3 years, 7-0 to Liverpool, 3-0 to Liverpool, 6-3 to Manchester City, 4-0 to Crystal Palace, 4-0 to Brentford, 3-0 to Bournemouth, crashed out of the Champions League group stages against Copenhagen and Galatasaray. I could go on and on and on. For me, 3-0 to Spurs is just like added to the pile. Yeah, it's there's nothing extreme or like out of the ordinary about these results anymore, bro. This is genuinely just a reflection of this team's level.
Yesterday, well, the Spurs game was a big indication of this team is not coached right. No. It's not coached right. Defensively, nothing. We can see the shit ton, as you just went through a great list. We don't score. We've got 5 goals scored this season.
1 goal at Old Trafford.
1 goal at Old Trafford. We're joint with Ipswich for goals. Only Southampton, I think, have scored less. We are absolute shambles, bro. Yeah. On all phases. The worst midfield I've ever seen at this club in my whole life at this club. The way he's constructed his midfield in the last 2 seasons is the worst I've ever seen it. I don't think I'll ever see it worse than this. Defensively, as I said, we concede. Offensively, this is the worst we've ever been as well. That could be down to player quality because our attackers are bang average, and it's down to how we're set up. Because I don't even think, we've been missing chances this season, but overall, under Ten Hag, offensively and defensively and midfield wise, it's the worst I've ever seen it. Do you know what I mean? And goal difference indicates that. Statistics of goals conceded, statistics of goals scored proves that. Bruno Fernandes, I just saw a stat, has already lost more games as captain than Roy Keane did.
What?
Bruno's in 81 games has lost 24 matches. Roy Keane in 204 games lost 23. So
fucking hell.
The stats I can keep, bro. The guy became captain last season.
Oh my god, bro.
The guy became, unless it's the games where he's actually just went, I don't know. But the guy was pretty much our captain last season. He was officially captain last season, right?
Yeah.
Or was it?
But he wore the armband the whole of the season before, but he wasn't officially club captain.
So I think it's from last. I don't know when it is. 81 games. No, it'll probably be every time he's had the armband. I'm guessing. I don't know. But it just shows where we are, right? Yesterday was a great example because I said it. When I look at Spurs, I look at the Spurs team. I walked away from Spurs Arsenal and I said to Fuad, you lot are average. Your team's actually average. Like, your players are average. You've got a good foundation in your back 5. You know, you're not a bigger fan of Vicario, but let's just leave him
Decent
out.
goalkeeper, yeah.
Your back 4 is good, I think. It depends on how they're being used. You know what I mean? With the high line and stuff.
But as individuals, Porro, Van de
All
Ven,
good individuals.
Romero, Udogie.
They can go to a lot of teams and improve them, right? All good individuals. Then I was like, your midfield is a bit meaty and your attack's a bit meaty. So why do we actually expect too much from Spurs? Your team's not that good. And now I've walked away from them playing Man United like, oh, damn, you lot are 2011 Barcelona. That's how it looked. Timo Werner and Brennan Johnson were absolute wing threats. Solanke was doing his job. Maddison revived himself, turned into Bentancur looked like Pirlo, bro. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So I was just like, it's a clear indication because I think our 2 squads have similar issues. But yet one looked so good away from home and one looks so bad. you can say whatever you want, right? We've had to, even though it shouldn't take against Spurs for us to realize this, even though we've seen ourselves get bossed by Brighton, we've seen ourselves get by Bournemouth, all these teams. But you can try and be like, oh, it's the players' fault. They're down in tools, whatever. But nah, when I see two teams who have similar issues, their fans are looking at Ange like, your away record in these games, and they go and do that to us. It's the biggest indication that there's just levels into this coaching thing with Ten Hag and the rest of them. Because let me say to you right now, if Kobe played for Spurs yesterday, would he look out of place?
No.
He'll have a field day, bro. Yeah. if Rashford, Garnacho, let's say, played for Spurs yesterday, Timo Werner looked like Rivaldo. So do you know what I mean? Like, pluck one of our players, just one into their teams, and we would be into Ange's team yesterday, and we'll be like, yeah, good game. That guy's a good player. Look at them for us. Disgrace. And not me saying that these guys are even good. I think they're average. They're not this bad.
Well, I agree, man.
They're not this bad.
You know,
they're not this bad. This is bad.
The concerning thing for me is like, I want you to really like think back to like 3 years, Cam. Like in Ten Hag's 3 years, I'm very confident in making this statement. Ten Hag has been outcoached and outclassed by more Premier League managers than the other way around.
Oh, 100%.
More Premier League managers in Ten Hag's 2 seasons and 6 games at the club have outcoached him than he's outcoached the what's it called? The crowd.
Yeah.
We're talking about Brentford's manager, Thomas Frank, has repeatedly outclassed Erik Ten Hag. Iraola, within half a season, outclassed Erik Ten Hag. And I believe this is the 3rd game in a row where he's outclassed Ten Hag. I look at Brighton. Since Ten Hag has come to the league, they've had 3 different managers. Graham Potter, Roberto De Zerbi, and now, what's his name? Hertzler. I think all 3 of them have outclassed him. I look at even last season against Vincent Kompany. Burnley looked like the better team. I looked at the game against Luton last year, and they had us on ropes at times away from home. Every single team that this manager comes up against, we come away from it saying, wow, that was an even game, or like, wow, we just about got away with it. And it's not because these teams have better, some of them do. And again, this isn't to say, like you said, we don't have a world-class team. A lot of this team are filled with average to good players. But we're making these average to good players against us look like world beaters. Yes, exactly. And it's not because they are world beaters. It's because there's a massive gulf in the coaching of both teams. Every single team that we come up against looks more organized than us. Every single team that we come up against looks like they have a clear indication of a plan than us. Every single team that we come up against makes better substitutions and better in-game tactics on the fly than us. At the end of the day, we have an average to good team. I truly believe that. But the coaching level of this team is miles off of it.
We're genuinely, the worst team in the league, I think. Other than right now, maybe Lopetegui and West Ham, whatever they're going through.
Russell Martin and Southampton are pretty poor as well, too.
I hear that. I hear
that. This is the level.
But yeah, they're championship level team, right? I think we are the worst coach team. Like, for quality to output, what's the word? If there was like a quality to output ratio, we're by far the worst coach team in the league. Southampton, we expect to get relegated before they even step foot in the Premier League. You're looking at it, probably going to get relegated. West Ham, okay, they have decent quality, but their quality still shouldn't be how we see Manchester United. So for me, for what Manchester United's squad is, not saying it's an amazing squad, just for what it is, in terms of pure underachievement of what you are doing with our squad, we're by far the worst team in the league. For me, by far. This season, again, you're looking at another year where it's completely going to be 8th and below. For me, 8th and below. For what you actually see, and I'm not even talking necessarily just about quality, but what you see in the principles of the game. And let me even be fair to Lopetegui. I'm just seeing them get pumped. I've watched 2 of their games. So I'm not even going to say I'm seeing them get outclassed. I'm not been paying attention. For who I've been paying attention on, we are the worst team in the league. Coach team. Van de Ven ran from his own half and assisted from centre-back. Ran through everyone. Gaping holes in our team. No one even close. No compactness. Ran from wherever he wanted to all the way into the box. And that's happened 3, 4, 5 times this season.
Oh,
just
yeah, no.
happened to FC20.
That moment that has happened against Liverpool, where Gravenberch and Szoboszlai ran directly down the middle of our pitch numerous times. Like you said, it happened against FC20 that eventually
happened last season.
It happened to Van de Ven. Every single
Cunha,
team United play
first
against.
game of the season.
Every single, yeah, you look like Kaka. Every single team that United plays against, at least once a game. I even tweeted it last week. Once a game, one player makes a darting run down the entirety of the core of our team and makes us look like, well, as expressions would say, mozzarella FC or some shit like
and
that.
The thing is, you look at our team, and I was saying it. I'm already seeing people say, "Oh, Delit's not good." I'm already seeing people say Mazraoui had a howler, by the way, but people say Mazraoui.
I don't think anyone was good yesterday, personally.
We say?
I don't think anybody had a good day yesterday.
I don't even think, but I think Mazraoui was like...
Yeah, he had a bad day. Bad day.
Yeah, people already say, okay, Mazraoui's not good. Mazraoui, for example, is somebody that should be coming into the team as a squad player. We shouldn't be seeing Mazraoui 50 games. He's a neat player, but Dallo is a right back. He's not a left back. He's a right back. So Mazraoui is really meant to be a backup option, but man like Luke Shaw can't stay fit. Malacia can't stay fit. Cool, whatever. That's a squad issue. You got to be patient with that. So I'm already seeing people say Mazraoui's not good. Delit's not good. No comment on your Xerxes not good. Ugarte is terrible, right? Cool. So you're already seeing that, and I'm like looking at these guys. Like, two of them are defenders, one of them's a defensive midfielder. These guys are meant to come into the team. They're trying to do as much as they can. Delit, I said, I haven't seen him defend so much in my life. Delit will make 9 good actions. We might concede, and then that means he's terrible. These guys genuinely think one person, 2 people can come and save this. You need to have the right profiles, the right players, but you also need to have the right platform to succeed. Yes, we can say the floor has lifted a bit. Some patterns of play have improved from building out a tiny bit. When Dallo inverts, a tiny bit has improved. The floor has lifted a bit. All right, the floor has lifted, but did you guys not know our ceiling was 8th last year? What the hell is raising the floor going to be?
By the way, the ceiling of the team was 8th last year.
Yes,
we were playing at a level of like 11th or 12th, bro. Yeah.
If the ceiling of our team, of United last season was 8th, what does raising the floor do? It's not going to raise the floor's not going to raise, and now the ceiling's been pushed to second place, to third place. Yeah. No, it's not like that. The floor can improve a tiny bit. The ceiling is still relying on Marcus Rashford in 2024. It's still hoping Garnacho at 20 years old can be Lamine Yamal. I know Yamal's 17, or can be Mo Salah. Yeah. It's still hoping that Bruno Fernandes in 2024 is going to be now Cole Palmer. It's not going to happen, bro, anymore, bro. That is still our ceiling. These are our ceiling players. Garnacho's one of our ceiling players right now, and he's learning. He's development. He's not an amazing player. Rashford's on his day is our best attacker in 2024.
That's mental.
That's the ceiling of Bruno Fernandes on his day is our most creative, our output player.
But you know what?
They're not the guys.
But this is.
And I'm not trying to blame. Sorry, bro. I'm not trying to blame it all on them.
No, but this is my point. I was gonna bring the next point I was gonna bring up. Right. A lot of people are gonna listen to you saying all of this, and they're gonna the rebuttal from some people in the fan base is gonna be like, well, if all these players aren't that great and the floor of our team is higher, but the ceiling's not that great, how can you blame it on Erik Ten Hag? That's what a rebuttal would be. Yep. But this is where I did my research yesterday, made my own little graphic. How much of this squad is Erik Ten Hag's? How much is he responsible for the current makeup of this team? Because it'd be different if he had just come into this team, or if he had only one window, and it's still a lot of the team is built up from previous signings under previous regimes. You look at the current buildup of this United team, and I highlighted each of them, who they made their debut, see where they play, how they play, who they play under. Of this team, 17 of the current first team players at Manchester United were either signed or debuted under Erik Ten Hag. 8 of them made their debut or were signed by other managers. Of those 8, 5 of them have been given new contracts under Erik Ten Hag. One of them has been made the permanent captain of the football club under Erik Ten Hag. The other one was given a massive bumper deal to be earning upwards of amongst the most paid players in the Premier League. Another one is seen as a must-need left back in his system. Quite simply, I'm going to put this graphic on the screen for you guys to check out as well too. this is his team, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Any qualm you have about the squad, about the players having a lack of effort, which I always find is the biggest cop-out whenever United struggle. Oh, the effort levels aren't good enough. Any qualm that you have about this squad, I'm sorry, is a reflection of the manager. Because 3 years in now, 6 transfer windows in, he's built this squad in his image.
And by the way, people ain't convinced of Onana, not convinced of Mizrahi now, apparently, not convinced of De Ligt. Don't rate Ugarte. Anthony is nowhere to be signed. Might as well be on a missing list.
Casemiro.
Anthony, people want Casemiro gone.
Xerxes.
Malacia, people weren't even convinced because they were saying Shaw's clear before his injuries. Xerxes, people are saying, okay, he hasn't been finishing. Cool, but I'm seeing people turn on him. Cool. Højlund.
Mount.
Mason Mount.
Even Lissandro now.
Lissandro. Brother. These are misses. Yeah. A lot of them are misses. Not all in my book, by the way. To be perfectly fair, they're not all misses. Some players I could go forward with. Not all. I can go forward with some. These are the ones that Ten Hag wanted. 1 second, people are saying Ten Hag has too much power in transfers. Next second, when the transfers ain't working, it's Ineos, it's John Murto, and people are diving between two things. When it's the Dutch players, or Dutch league, Ten Hag has too much. Say take away his power. Then Ineos sign. Nah, there's no way that Ten Hag wanted a Ugarte profile. There's no way that Ten Hag wanted a Casemiro profile. Why is that the case? He literally came out and said, I've been tracking this player for a long time. Ugarte is his player. So if you don't like Ugarte, that's his player. If you don't like Casemiro, that's his player. Yeah. I'm sorry. Like, you guys have to accept this. You can't just 1 second say one player is his player and the next second's not. Ten Hag will have a say in every single signing that takes place. Pep Guardiola, I don't give a crap about Checky and all these guys. He will have a say in every signing. Yes, they will come with a scouting report. They'll come with, but he'll be like, okay, boom. I remember exactly what he said about Doku. We wanted a skillful player. We want someone that can take someone on. Wow, Checky brought me this guy, Doku. Amazing. Thank you, Checky. Because when I looked at him, that's who I wanted. Boom. That's how it works. Ten Hag will have a say. If Man United go and get Inzaghi, if Man United go and get Tuchel, if Man United go and get Nagelsmann, and you start seeing the profile player that we want completely change, why do you think that's because of?
Ineos changed their identity.
It doesn't make,
a manager will always 100%, bro.
It doesn't make sense.
Does that point now though? Because look, Ten Hag's time at United is done. I don't see how anyone can believe that he's gonna last past this season. I don't even think he'll last to Christmas. But I think the bigger question, I don't think enough people are asking this, right? I feel like every time with United, we seem to have like this get out of jail card. The next manager gets a little, like, you know, what's it called? The managerial bounce or whatever. New manager bounce. We go on a few results. We make Champions League the next year. But I'm really looking at this squad now that has been built. And bro, I don't think there's been a single manager personally post Fergie that has been backed as much as Erik Ten Hag in terms of recruitment. 600 million pounds spent. Like I said, 17 players are his. You look at the squad now that's left for the next manager to kind of take over. I remember when Oli was fired and we kind of brought in a new manager. Maybe it's hindsight now, but I looked at it and I was like, oh, that's a good squad. Like, the next manager could do something. I look at this team, and how many of these players that he's brought in is the next manager going to want, bro? I don't think a lot of them. Genuinely, I'm very convinced on this, right? The ones like Anthony, Casemiro, I don't know, like Malacia will probably be gone by the next manager. Those guys, I'm convinced. Even Mason Mount, I'll be surprised Mason Mount if the next manager sees a long-term plan for him. But I'm even looking at Ugarte, right? I'm very convinced that the next manager that comes in will want a new defensive midfielder. If you tell me Simone, forget about even a miss, even in the profile, Simone Inzaghi's gonna, let's say this is the new name. I don't think we're gonna get Inzaghi, but let's just say he comes in. Inzaghi at Inter has worked with Brozovic. He's worked with Hakan Çalhanoğlu. He's clearly a manager that prioritizes first phase build-up. He wants his deepest lying midfielder to be excellent in ball retention. He's going to look at Ugarte and say, who the hell is this guy, bro? Yeah. I want a midfielder that is able to build up from the back. Bro, I promise you, right? If you get Simone Inzaghi, the first thing he's asking for is for another defensive midfielder. So I look at this team. Bro, there's a lot of players, even for as much as I've talked about Lisandro Martinez.
No,
but listen to me here. Listen to me here. Even if he was not a miss in your eyes, Who's to say the next manager comes in and says, "Yo, I want my defender, like in your words, to be a big, strong man." That's another 60. Maybe he's lucky because he has Euro coming in.
Yeah.
A lot of the signings that we've committed big money to, I'm very it's questionable for me if they're going to be the next manager's plans. That's why for me signings like Euro are brilliant because that's a cornerstone. Any manager that comes in, he's in his plans. A Xerxes, a Højlund, you can have your doubts about them, but you look at the age, the profile, they're going to be in the manager's plans. But a lot of these guys like Ugarte, Casemiro, Anthony, I would Mason Mount, I would throw in there. Even Andre Onana. Honestly, I think a manager looks at a lot of these guys and says, "Can they fit in my next team?" And then you're looking at another rebuild. Therefore, I don't know the succession plan at United, bro. I think in the past it's been a bit easier because this goes back to your point. You've had cornerstone players like Rashford at that point, Martial at that point, Luke Shaw at that point, Paul Pogba at that point, Bruno at that point. Those were players that for the last few years you could look at and say, okay, I can build a team around that. A lot of those guys now are no longer there, or they're washed, or they're not at the level anymore. Who is in this team that a new manager is kind of looking at and saying, yeah, they are necessities in my team? You're maybe looking at Kobe, looking at Euro. You're looking at Garnacho's going to be in that team.
Mainstays, or you talking
or even
about
players that can make up their squad, bro.
For me,
there's not many. I don't think.
I think just for the hassle, Onana stay. Like in terms of whatever, Onana, Mazraoui, De Ligt, Euro. I think they. Now that doesn't mean Mazraoui's gonna be a starter. But
I'm talking about starters. I'm talking about starters because, look, it's they're not gonna sell Lisandro than the next manager.
Dallo, Onana, it's starters, yeah. Dallo, Onana, De Ligt, I think. Euro, Kobe. That's it.
That's 5 players.
Because not even Ahmad. It's no guarantee.
No. Ahmad is just the best we have right now. A new manager comes in, they're gonna ask for a new right winger for sure.
Only 5, yeah. I think those are only 5. Starters, as in next season, new manager. I think those 5 start.
We've spent 600 million on building this. Not even building the squad. Under this manager, we've added 600 million to the squad, and 5 of them are, in your eyes, good enough for the next manager to contend for a start. Oh yeah.
One of the strikers.
And even both of them, they're not convincing. We're in a world of trouble. I'm here to tell you right now. Look, I think Ten Hag is the biggest issue at United right now. 100%. But the squad he's left behind, for me, boy, it's this is the first time I can honestly think it's a bad team and it's a bad manager at United. Normally, it's one or the other. Right now is probably the first time post-Fergie that I look at it and say, I think it's both.
That's the thing. That's why I think I was more annoyed with the Oli situation because I was like, no, hold on.
You had players like
Martial was on form. Pogba is a baller. Not even Christian. Forget even
Bruno,
that. Forget that stage. But even in a way, you can maybe say Bruno was. I would never been my cup of tea, but he was still at a decent level. Jadon Sancho, Varane, what's his names? Mason. That's a Greenwood already. Greenwood, Rashford. Yeah, cool. I'm thinking, wow, man, you're really holding back this squad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm looking at them times, and I'm seeing.
We were thinking, maybe we just need a DM or something.
No, because bro, at them times, I was looking at, for example, someone like Sterling, who was killing it at City. I'm thinking, no, you're not better than Rashford, though, are you? Like, you're not better than Rashford. Like, Rashford's getting 23 goals for this team. Like, he's got more to his game, in my opinion. I'm thinking, yo, you're holding us back, Ollie. You are holding Mason Green. Yo, you're not better than Mason Greenwood. Like, what? You're holding us back. Pogba. You know what I mean? Like, this one, I'm just like, yo. That's why I was more annoyed with Ollie. But this one, I'm like, yeah, the player's bad. But then I'm just like, this manager, the reason why, let me tell you why I'm more annoyed with this. Not even more annoyed, but the reason why I'm just kind of like shocked with this manager is because I've never really been able to even kind of, and maybe this, I should be more angry. As you said, you know when you get numb to something? Yeah. As soon as I realized that this guy is a bad communicator, I switched off with him. Ollie, I think I used to get annoyed because I actually used to watch Ollie's presses and I used to look at him like, you're getting me mad.
You know I don't even watch his pressers.
He can still speak. Ollie can communicate. Ten Hag can't. I don't watch it. I can't. I feel like I'm not even involved. I watch Man United play and I switch off and I go and carry on my day. Before I used to watch, what's Ollie saying? Now I just see what quotes it is. And even when it's meant to be strong quotes, and I actually watch the actual how he said it.
It don't hit. It sounds like, better. It looks better in writing.
It's better in writing, bro. Honestly, with Ten Hag, I just think it's just a lost situation. Not a good communicator. Next manager that we get has to be a good communicator, bro. Good communicator. Maresca, good communicator. Ange, Slot, Arteta.
I think that's another thing too, right? I feel like this is my least favorite thing. This is my least favorite thing about United fans, by the way. Huh? Like this is the one thing I don't like about United fans. They act like there's no one else on the market. There's no one else in the world that could come to United and improve the team from a coaching perspective. Mm-hmm. If every single coach is out coaching the current guy we have, I'm sorry, we don't have this guy that like no one is going to be able to replace. I'm here to tell you right now, right? We're going to look at the Tuchels. We're going to look at the Inzagis, if you want to consider that. In a dream world, people are going to put Nagelsmann there. I'm here to tell you guys right now, Thomas Frank comes to Man United, and we are a much better team. I'm putting that out there right now. Whether you rate Thomas Frank to an elite level or not, Thomas Frank comes to Man United and organizes this group better than Erik Ten Hag is.
I think every manager in the league does.
need to get out of this perception. First of all, the Glazers are no longer here. We supposedly have but they're out of the picture footballing wise. We are under a supposedly very organized structure of footballing men that have experience at every single facet of the game. This excuse now that any manager that comes in is going to have their hands shackled behind their back and it's an impossible job. Get yourselves out of that mentality. The job that this guy has done at this club is unacceptable at every stage of football. If he was doing this shit at Luton, it would be deemed unacceptable. Get your mind out of this scenario, out of this viewpoint that no one can come in and save this club, bro.
We've lost 50% of our games.
We have a worse record in the last 19 games. Or in the last, what is it, 25 points available or something like that. Than Everton under Sean Dyche, who won their first game of the season this weekend.
And the worst thing is, right, if in any walk of life you were failing at 50% of your job, if I was an estate agent and I was failing way below our targets, I'll have a review. If you're failing at 50% of your job, in our last 81 games, we've lost 21. In our last, not 81. Man's at 81. In our last 58 games, we've lost 21 games, right? And we've won 28, right? And now this season, we've lost 50% of our games. And you know when that last 51 games the stat is from? That's 51 games since we won at Newcastle in the Carabao. We've lost 21 games.
That was the turning point for me.
That was the end. That was the end. As soon as we won the Carabao, that was the end.
And you know when the beginning was like November. The beginning was like November.
There we go.
We didn't even start the season.
I keep saying this to people. People keep acting like last season our bad year. We ended the season before that so bad. Yeah. I literally have videos saying I don't even know if we're making top 4.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
So the majority of Ten Hag's spell has been a disaster.
Bro, Ten Hag's spell on paper, let's be real, right? It's cup runs, bro.
Yeah, and we've seen cup managers before. But everywhere, in bare teams have had cup managers.
But no big team. Even Milan, right? Even Milan or like Juve. Like Juve won the cup last year, and they still sacked Allegri.
Bro,
Borussia Dortmund went to the Champions League final last year and still sacked Terzic. Elite clubs or big footballing institutions have never and will never prioritize a 7-8 game cup run over a whole 38 game body of work in a league campaign. It's never happened and it will never happen except at Man United.
How many managers Inter have gone through quite a few managers in the last couple of years. Obviously Inzaghi stayed for quite a while now, a couple of years. Juve went through a lot of managers. Barcelona, I think, have gone through 7 managers in 7 years.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Bro, guys are actively trying to make change. I've seen Ancelotti. Yeah, people can say, we're not Real Madrid. I've seen Ancelotti not win a league and get sacked. Do you know what I mean? They won Champions League. Next season, he's gone.
That's even at Real Madrid. I'm even talking like Real Madrid Chelsea, is a different stats. Boom. I'm even looking at the smaller clubs, bro. I'm telling you, I've never
It's because of Fergie.
It's because I think it's because of Arteta, bro. I'll be real. I feel like Arteta is the thing that people are hanging on to.
Maybe, but
Fergie
also stems on Fergie. It's actually kind of not a curse. But it's actually kind of bad that it took Fergie that long to win things because it's harmed bare managers.
Bro, that's like 40 years ago, bro.
And by the way, he won a European trophy with Aberdeen. By the way, Fergie and Aberdeen are still the last Scottish team to win a league that are not Celtic and Rangers.
They're the last club in Europe to beat Real Madrid.
In a final?
I think so.
Oh, nah. That was
Chelsea.
Liverpool.
No, Liverpool didn't beat them. No, I think Chelsea, maybe they beat them in the Cup Winners' Cup or something like that.
Liverpool beat them in the Champions League final in the 80s.
No, but Aberdeen was after that.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
But regardless, that's...
But anyway.
We're talking about the 80s.
Exactly.
Bro. We're talking about the 80s
Fergie
and 90s,
still has
bro.
records that are standing to this day. He's a legendary generational
forget about
coach.
That shit. Football, bro, that's in the 80s. Do you want to know things that were happening in the 80s?
Bro.
Like, do you know who's kicking around in the 80s? The thing about the old days. It's the old days, bro. We're in a different era. Managers don't last at football clubs 20 years anymore unless they're uber successful. And even then, they usually tire out. Like, if you're not successful over 2-3 years, every big club moves. Even the small clubs, they move on. It's only at United where there's this obsession with this romantic style that we need to find the next long-term gaffer. People are turning their nose up at Tuchel because he's a short-term hire. Been this idea that we have to find a manager to last us a decade. If it happens, great, but that shouldn't be like the base requirement. But boy, oh my God, I'm getting frustrated already talking about it.
Right,
we talk about we're apathetic, we're numb. It still frustrates the hell out of me, man.
Yeah, honestly, bro, nah.
Who do you see as the next hire?
I want Inzaghi. I've been saying it for a long time. I don't think it's gonna be him. I think it's gonna be between two. I think it's gonna be Tuchel.
You think it'd be Tuchel?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Tuchel.
When they could have just got him in the summer.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. What happened again? What was the reason again? They got to the final stage now.
You know what? Actually, I read somewhere that it was Tuchel who rejected them.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who's gonna be the next manager. Well, it's gonna be Ruud van Nistelrooy for the time being. I want him to leave with Ten Hag, bro. Don't do
I was
this
gonna say
to my goat,
I remember you were gassed when Van Nistelrooy happened because you're like, oh, he was gonna be like the I get to see my guy be interim. I don't think you want that, bro.
I don't want that. I don't want that.
He's gonna get his legacy tarnished like Oli, bro.
Unless he does an Oli run and then they just say thank you for the memories.
Yeah, you don't want you want Van Nistelrooy out of the firing line. I'll tell you that right now, bro.
I'm 100%. Yeah. I can't have Van Nistelrooy going down with this, bro. Honestly,
because you're going down with him.
Yeah, but that was part of their. It's obviously part of their plan, man. I'll be surprised if he's our manager after Villa. That's what I'm saying. Another season, guys, over in September. Or maybe we might win a Carabao. Because I know he's going to try and win that. He's shameless like that.
Eric.
He's going to try and win that, bro.
It's not lasting.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
He's not coaching. I'm telling you right now, if Erik Ten Hag coaches past the Villa game, because we're not beating Villa, bro. I'll put this entire rent. Yeah. I'll put in the damn studio rent, bro, on Erik Ten Hag not beating Aston Villa at Villa Park. And Porto at the Dragao. That's a problem. We saw what Arsenal did last year.
Yeah.
That's a problem, bro.
Our attack's not breaking down today, but no Pepe though. That's a little relief, isn't it?
Bro, we can't get past. We fuck about Pepe. Pepe's the peak, bro. About Pepe. I got nothing left to say, man. Share, subscribe. Shout out to BR for powering this podcast, man. See you next time, man. Peace.